Howdy folks, I am Ruzkiel, and welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. In the last few episodes, those were the bonus scenes, as well as some of the free time events that I had gathered in the process of getting to those scenes. Originally, this episode was going to be me starting the Monomi Minigame, whatever it's called. You know what, no, I'm not even going to bother. This minigame here. Starting that with Stage 1, and moving, and subsequent episodes would have been me playing through this minigame mode. That was hot garbage, both from a gameplay standpoint and a commentary standpoint. So instead, the game was nice enough to make this secret stage effectively a summary of stages 1 through 5. So I think I'm just going to do that and kind of do what I can for filling in the blanks, as it were. So, you're Monomi. You can jump, and you can run, and you draw, and you fart little rainbows. You draw circles around your enemies, and you take your enemies, characters, whatever these things may be called. I think technically these are like little Monobeasts or whatever. I don't know. But you draw little circles around them. It activates some sort of special attack, and yeah, they die in a bloody horror fashion. Okay, this I wasn't expecting so quick. At the end of various stages, you will have the boss fight with the Monobeasts. And what happens is they'll come out and you'll have to wreck them up, and they'll wreck you, and it'll be a big old fight. That happens in stages 1 through 5. It'll be the final wave. So, what you do is basically the same thing that you've done the entire time. But they are much harder than that. Especially, so the first one there, that's for stage 1. Honestly, that might be just about the hardest one to do. I know I had a pretty hard time with him. The stage 2 boss was also pretty bad. We'll get to him in a moment. But the reason they were bad is because they start off with some... you don't have equipment. As you play throughout the stages, you get more and more equipment. And even nominal changes in the stats that they boost has a pretty significant impact on performance. Sorry, that one I always mess up on, and now I'm gonna hurt myself. But yeah, even small nominal changes have a pretty big impact on performance. And so bosses are much harder, especially stages 1 and 2. Once you get done with 2, at which point you will have some equipment, and those changes obviously improve your performance, things have a tendency to feel a little more natural. So, if anything, I would suggest doing stages 1 and 2 on the easy or normal difficulty. Any higher and you start running the risk of serious problems. You run the risk of having some difficulty issues. I'm sure it's not impossible, but it was beyond my skill of being able to do that and commentate all at the same time. So we should have level 3. Level 3 boss. So, one thing I was trying to do is I kind of wanted to talk about each boss and their characteristics, but I don't think that's going to happen, because there's so much to talk about at the same time. Anyway, sorry. Boss 3. You could try to plan it out where you place it. Honestly, boss 3 there, when you get to the fight, it's pretty much just as easy to randomly draw circles throughout the board and hope the boss lands in the midst of it. Oh. So, I guess what I can also do is start off with okay. So, kind of do what I can for talking about some of the enemies. So you start off with little round enemies that don't do anything, and then they'll bring the and then they'll bring enemies out that can charge you. They look about the same. All you really have to do is what you can't. I guess what I should say is what you can do is jump on them, and it'll stun them, and then it should be easier to jump to draw the circles around them. After that, you get the little like star-shaped critters, and you get the little star-shaped critters, and those you can't jump on because they got the little horns on their heads, and they'll shoot the needles at you. After that, let's see. After that, you get. Sorry, suddenly I lost like my train of thought, and I'm focusing way harder than I should be on this. After that, you get, and there are obviously variations of each of these enemies with varying degrees of hit points and I suppose damage as well. Not that I really notice. Not that you really end noticing much difference because your equipment scales at about the same point. Great. Let's see here. After that, oh, you get another round-headed. You get another round-headed critter, and it will drop bombs as it walks along. It's not all that bad, and that's kind of the last variation, aside from these guys here, which are armored. Now, as far as I can tell, this little attack here, where you draw the circles, doesn't actually do much. What you have to do is you have to jump on them and destroy their little protective shell. And a good way to do that is you jump on them, and then immediately afterwards, or at least the way I found to do it, is you jump on them if you can. Their hitboxes are really, really awkward, and this is a really floaty jump. It's a bit of a problem. And it doesn't help that they dash. Kind of wish there was a different attack that they did. I kind of wish they shot instead, because at least if they shot, they wouldn't be dashing around everywhere. But you jump on their little you jump on their weird ass hitboxes, and oh, come on, will you please? You jump on their weird hitboxes if you can. And after that, the core is exposed. You do your magic circle thing, take them down. Everything's good. Oh, I guess there are also these turret guys. They're very similar to the spiky-headed ones, but they're stationary. I don't know why these show up after the spiky-headed ones that shoot the needles. Maybe it has to do with the fact that they seem like they have a little bit more health, but I don't know why that would necessarily make a difference. Okay, so so we should have, what, 1 or 2 more waves? Okay, so here's the boss of Stage 5. This is the only one. So, boss of Stage 4... bosses of 3, 4... and, yeah, I guess 5 all present challenges in their own way. The boss of Stage 4 has a tendency to retreat, which makes hitting him a bit interesting. And then the boss of Stage 3, let's see, that was, oh, the pterodactyl. Yeah, that is just as much random luck as anything else. And then Stage 4 there, he's more aggressive. It seems like he's more aggressive than previous bosses, so that might throw you through a loop. But by the time you get equipment from Stage 2 for Stages 3 and onward, the bosses become far less hectic. Oh my god. I hate these hitboxes. These hitboxes suck! And then it seems like you never do the damage. I'm wondering if there's a better way to take care of these, but I don't know what that might be. So if anyone's got knows better, or I mean I could look it up after the fact, but I doubt I actually will. Ah, just please. Oh, come on. That should have hit you, not me. Ah, just break, please. I'm tired of this jump and these weird hitboxes. Ugh. Please? There we go. Okay, now we can get to drawing our circles and taking them out. And I'm hoping this leads me to the... Nope, not the final wave yet. Darn. And I suppose another little tip that I can offer is don't let go of the shift key until you start seeing the special attack. It really makes a difference on your sanity. And then the final boss here. When I did him last go-around, he was pretty piss-easy. Just keep drawing circles around him. It doesn't seem like he moves. And he's done. See, and honestly, he really wasn't any harder this time around than he was last time around. Oh, I guess I didn't mention any other things on the user interface. Well, top left was a heart, that was your health meter. Bottom left was a percentage meter that indicated... Oh good, audio messed up. On the bottom left there was a percentage meter that indicated your Monomi, which I guess gives you unlimited run and maybe invincibility. I never used it much. It might help at certain points, but it seemed to wind down very quickly. And then here's your equipment. Starting from stage 2 on, you'll start getting equipment. So this is what you start with, the wooden branch, and then obviously as you go along you get better and better and stuff until you end up with some pretty awesome equipment. I don't know if there's anything else really worth looking at. There might be something here worth taking a look at. They don't really indicate whether or not you have everything. They don't really have a set list of items indicated for that. And that is pretty much it. So I think that's going to do it for this. Like I said, stages 1 through 5, it's basically that whole same mechanic. You draw circles around enemies, take them out, get to the final wave, you fight the bosses. Secret stage showed what all the bosses were, even if it didn't necessarily show their patterns or anything, because at this stage I'm way overpowered because of all the equipment. But I can't maintain this for all 5 stages. It's, like I said, the first half hour or so was complete and utter garbage of commentary and gameplay. So, not that I really expect this to be much better, but I feel like I've had a more continuous stream of consciousness. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it off here. In the next episode, what we are going to do is we're probably going to go... Oh, thank goodness. We're probably going to do island mode. So I know that. So I'm pretty confident this is where I'm going to be able to pick up the remaining free time events for, gosh, Nekomaru, Makan, Hiyoko, Megiddo, Byakuya, Teru, Gundam. I know I have more Gundam to do. God, there's so many people that we still have free time events with. Plus, whatever else is involved with island mode. I know on the first game there was some sort of it was kind of like a luck-based gathering game, where you had to balance where you kind of had to balance student lives with collecting resources, cleaning the rooms, and sleeping and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm really getting into details. I don't know what's involved with this. I don't know if it's the same, similar, completely different, or what have you. There was also, I guess, like a dating sim thing, which is a little bit different from the free time events. I don't know. I think that's also in this game from a couple of things that I've seen, but I don't know. Part of me is a little confused as to why they have that in the first place if we have these free time events. Anyway, we'll be doing that in the next probably several episodes. So that's it for the Monomi minigame, and next up, Island Mode. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.